Heartbreak isn't a punishment, it's redirection. Yes, nobody likes to get their heart broken, but the best thing I can tell you is a good place to start in trying to move forward is to really accept it for what it is. We have to allow ourselves to be in the present. It happened, you two separated. And from that moving forward, you have to take the time to really assess your feelings, allow yourself to feel, don't block them out and don't reject them, and still try to live in reference to the past and when you two were together. Allow yourself to kind of grieve in a sense, It was a relationship you were once a part of and you cared about that person very much. They probably cared about you just as much as well. What you had is what you had. And now what you had is now in reference to the past. And in order to allow ourselves to move forward, we have to see it as a past. We have to see it as not a part of what God has in store for us. We have a strong attachment to people that can be a hard thing. But then again, we have to allow ourselves to move forward. And it's not to say you have to throw them away. It's not saying you have to throw this person out of your mind like a piece of trash. But it's to say you have to place them in a different position. It's kind of like chess in a sense, I would say. Like, you have to organize pieces around. This piece was essential, and now it got knocked off. Now you have to readjust. That's kind of how you have to see it. And it's a weird way of seeing it, but we have to be adaptable. I feel like letting go can also be a hard thing because maybe we saw that person as an essential part of our life, and maybe a core part of our own happiness, a core piece to our happiness, when then again, that's not how it should be. You should be able to create happiness for yourself. I feel like everybody else is an addition to your life. They shouldn't be the whole centerpiece. And some of us may have made that person our whole centerpiece. So choosing to move forward, choosing to let go can be hard. Because they were our world. Why would I let that go? That's how we can see it. They are what made me smile. They made the dark times not feel as dark. And now they're gone. And so now you're trying to figure out who you are and really where you stand in this life and how you truly move forward. And so that's why I really feel like heartbreak is really redirection. I always say this quote, everything always happens for a reason. But y'all know y'all hear me say all that all the time. What is gone for a reason. But it is. What is gone for a reason. And everything happens for a reason. It's like one thing I learned from my breakup. When I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, the first time I broke up, because I did break up twice. We're not gonna get into that though. But the first time we separated, I feel like it really allowed me to explore different parts of myself. It allowed me to explore and discover my passion for videography. Because at the time, I just knew I liked to play basketball. I just knew I liked to paint, be artistic. So when we separated, I was just trying different things out within the passions that I already liked to explore and do things in. And it's like, I used to do this thing when I was be on my Xbox. I would just create characters and I would make my own storylines and I would create my own mixtapes with these characters. The game was called NBA 2K, if you know, you know. But I would create my own player and I would make mixtapes with that. And people have always told me, have you ever thought about doing it like IRL? Like, have you ever thought making it a real thing where you're filming actual games? And I had given it thought, but I never really thought about putting it into action. And so when we broke up, it was an interesting feeling because I felt like I kind of had my life back. And it's weird to say that, but it's like, that's kind of how I felt when you're single. Your life is yours in a sense. You don't really have to occupy anybody else's emotions. You don't really have to try to make sure somebody else is okay and balance all the highs and lows of who they are and make sure everything's good within your relationship. You don't really have to do that. You just have to take care of yourself. And so I feel like I just gained a new perspective and wanted to try something new. And once I tried it, once I gave it a shot. I filmed my first basketball game, high school basketball game, and I edited it, made it into a mixtape on my phone. I shot it all on my phone. And I just fell in love with that. I fell in love with the path, with the process of that. And it led me to pick the major that I currently have, which is cinematic arts. So editing, videography, all that. But I wouldn't have known that I love to edit, that I love to be a cinematographer. I wouldn't have known that if I was occupied within my relationship, because I gave the relationship everything I had. I fully gave it my attention. And so I feel like God, he takes things away that we can be occupied with so we can really redirect our attention towards something more important in a sense. Not to say the relationship wasn't important, but then again, we have to understand you still have your life to live. When I mean your life, I mean your life. You still have to take care of you and become a better version of yourself. And some can do that in relationships. I'm not trying to say that nobody can ever better themselves and improve themselves within a relationship. Some people can, but not all. Within the things that need changing, that need real improvement, sometimes a relationship can really be a distraction. Sometimes things that we occupy our time with can be a distraction from becoming better in some areas of our life. So that's why I feel like heartbreak is not a punishment. It's really redirection for us. It's redirection for us to discover different parts of who we are, give attention to different parts about our life. It can be in regards to us giving more attention to our other relationships in our life, hanging out with our friends more, talking to our family more, giving attention to this area in our lives, such as maybe school, maybe giving more attention to this hobby that you have that you didn't really give your attention to before. You have to see moving forward as a part of the plan and to get excited for it. Yes, heartbreak sucks, but there's better on the horizon. And it gets better. I feel like with heartbreak, one thing I know for sure, time heals all. Time really does. It really does heal all. It allows you within that time to work on yourself. Like, I feel like time heals all if you give attention to working on you and enjoying your own experience, enjoying the life that you get to be a subject to. We have to be a subject more to our own lives and to our own experience. Give attention to the things that we didn't give attention to. You know, it's like a wake-up call in a sense, like, yo, you still got life to live. And I think that's what God might be telling you. You still have a life to live. You still got this, that, this. You still got your friends, family, people that can build you up, uplift you. There's still more relationships to explore. And I'm not saying just romantic, I'm saying platonically. There's still people to meet, to see, new things to discover, just a bunch of new things that you need to give your attention to. So once you give that your attention, once you are focusing on your purpose, focusing on really the things that make you happy, the things that bring you joy, and you're building the life that you desire for yourself, you're only going to be occupied with that. And so yeah, you may think about them at times. You know, I still think about my first girlfriend, because I mean, she was my first girlfriend. Like, she was mine. She was mine for real. Like, that was my little, you know what I'm saying? But I'm speaking in past tense. That was my past girlfriend. And I had to allow myself to see it as the past. I had to allow myself to feel through my emotions, accept the situation for what it is. Because without accepting it for what it is and just being in denial of it, you're not going to get over it. You're not going to be able to move forward, because you're going to be stuck on what was. So how are you going to be able to move forward? How are you going to be able to get excited for what could be, what God could prepare you for in regards to either a person, an experience, anything? How are you going to be ready for that if you're not allowing yourself to accept the past for the past, accept it for what it is, so you can properly heal and move forward? And I feel like sometimes we don't allow ourselves to move forward even within past relationships, because maybe we didn't get some type of closure Like he just broke up with me or she just broke up with me and I didn't get to explain how I felt and da 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 da. I feel like with that, you just have to kind of give that closure to yourself in a sense. And what I mean by that is like, I would say journal, I would say try video diaries, maybe even write a letter to that person if you need to get that off your chest. That's something I've done in regards to expressing my feelings to a family member. And it allowed me to kind of release, in a sense, allowed me to let go. You don't even have to send it to that person, but it can just be for you to truly release any of the emotions, any of the feelings, resentment, anything that you have still tucked inside you. You have to release that and you just have to accept it for what it is. The biggest thing is just within trying to receive closure is to accept it for what it is. Clinging on to whatever emotions you have, and not to disregard your emotions at all, but to hold on to any emotions you have towards that situation that are really unbefitting to you, pouring more resentment and pain into you. You gotta make a shift so you can really move forward. And it takes time. Don't expect yourself to be just healed and ready to get after it in a week, after a week, or after 2 days, or after a month. It takes time. There's no expiration date on when you are able to recover and not feel triggered when you hear that person's name or not feel triggered when you see their pictures. It can take time. It will take even longer if you don't give it your attention to really take the steps to move forward, and you'll stay stuck longer. But within this time, just do what's best for you. If you have to remove that person off social media, on some out of sight, out of mind type shit, then do that. You gotta do things that are beneficial to your own mental health. And so blocking them is one thing. You feel like you need to block them so you can really center in on what is presently happening now within your own life and even on yourself. Then do that. Don't worry about anybody, how others may perceive you for doing that or how it may be perceived. You gotta do what is best for you so you can move forward. And this is again to say though, get excited for the future. Get excited for what God has in store for you. Even if you don't believe in God, the future is bright. I'm telling you, the future is bright. You gotta get excited. You have to get excited. I'm telling you, there's no reason to be sad forever, bro. You still got life to live and experience. And beautiful things are coming. He had to remove that. God had to remove that. We may not like it. We may not understand it. Not everything we're supposed to understand. Not every move or decision God makes in regard to our lives is going to make sense. But then sooner or later it will. You just have to have faith and really confide in Him within all your fears, all your worries, all your problems. That's something I do still. Always and forever. I've always and forever will. But confide in Him, even about your goals, your aspirations, how you want your life to be, how you want to feel, and that will come to fruition. So, heartbreak isn't easy. It's not. But take the time for yourself. Take this time. See it as an opportunity, really, because that's what it is. It's opportunity for growth. And I need you to take that on. I need you to get excited for that, to better yourself, maybe even correct the things that you need to work on within the relationship and better those things. So when you go into another relationship, you self-correct it for yourself so you don't bring anything that could negatively affect the new relationship because you did the work. And another thing too is to not hold any negative connotations, negative thoughts, or any resentment towards that person. You have to let that person go to let yourself flow. You do. To let yourself flow, to let your life flow. You have to let them go. Let that go for you. You may still have feelings that you want to express to them, understandably so. If you didn't get closure, or if the heartbreak hurt, you still may have things that you felt that were left unsaid. Write those things down. Express those in a journal entry. Go to therapy. There are other healthy ways to express that. We gotta do things that are beneficial to us. We gotta do things that are most reasonable and that would have a more positive impact than negative in regards to the outcome. So let them go. Don't hold any resentment. Just be at peace. See the good qualities that made you want to be with that person, and give more attention to that than the negative. And then to release, to give gratitude even for that person, because their absence is redirecting you. They're a blessing. That person that you are letting go and that you are releasing from your life is a blessing, because they're redirecting you toward a better path, towards the path you're supposed to be on. So thanks to them. That's a blessing. So love yourselves through this new change, towards this new shift in your life. Be a cheerleader to yourself. You know, things I always talk about. Be a cheerleader to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And be that support system that you need, that you can lean on for you. To not seek that from the external world, because the external world really can't give that to you. Can't give that self-love to you. You have to give that to yourself. You know, lean on your family members, if needed, you know, for extra support if needed. But most importantly, to be there for you is the best thing you could do within this time, within this new awakening. Because God had to wake you up somehow, so He can guide you on this new path, this new lovely path that He has in store for you. So I'm excited for you, really. I'm excited for you. I know you might be feeling sad right now. I know, I'm not with that person no more. Like, I'm just like, damn, bro, like that was my little shit. Yeah, I know. But I'm excited for what God has in store for you. I am excited for that, because it's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. G-U-D, good. It's gonna be real good. So get excited and still try to find the joy within your life. And don't allow that person to be the main centerpiece of that. You are. So do what you can with what you have, and just make the best of your situation. And to, most importantly, instill positivity and joy and love with where you're at. Alright? I love y'all. Y'all got this. Y'all have any questions, any concerns, comment down below. And I'm thinking about making a Discord too, as well, for all of us to, I don't know the word I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to create a Discord for, you know, all of us, for the community to like converse and, you know, talk about maybe different content ideas you guys may be interested in seeing, or things you just want to see in general, or want me to maybe even talk about or discuss. And yeah, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for watching, and yeah, keep your head up, stay up. It will get better with time. It always gets better. I promise you. But then again, it's with your perception. If you have a positive perspective that it's going to get better, it will get better. If not, it won't. So perspective is everything. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all stay easy, stay blessed. All right. Peace.